Hi, friends. Doc South here, and seems like a long time ago, and it was. Now that I think about it, Sandy and I were just recently married, or we might have been living together. I'm not sure, one or the other. It was long ago, but we were definitely an item, and living on a horse farm in a little. We had like a little bungalow on a horse farm, and life was good. And in addition to that, we had a nice, actually a fairly large antique shop down in Long Valley, New Jersey, that we operated. Um, and all in all, things seemed to be doing pretty well. And then one day we were watching TV, getting ready to go down to the store. It was about 5 miles away. And then a news flash came on. And it turned out well, of course, naturally, you turn your attention to the TV when there's a news flash, and something about a plane had just crashed into a building in New York. The World Trade Center, and uh, there were fatalities, and things were looking bad. And they were going to cut to video as soon as they could, and of course, we were watching the TV, like, oh, what's this? Airplane crash right into Manhattan? Whoa. And well, you from there it escalated, as most any of you know. It's pretty much history now, but it was there was a horrible attack onto the Trade Center, plane crashing, building crashing in, both buildings going down, and then reports coming in from other parts of the country of other similar attacks. In other words, all of a sudden, from having some toast and coffee with my wife, all of a sudden we're looking at what the heck is. And well, back then, Sandy and I had an antique shop down in Long Valley, New Jersey, a few miles away from where we lived. And we said, well, geez, we've got to go down to the store. But oh my gosh, this is awful. And again, no one really knew that it was a terrorist attack. I guess they thought it was some kind of awful plane crash till that second one hit, and then the Pentagon, and then out in was that Shanksville, Pennsylvania. Um, at that point, you knew there was a lot of baloney going on. Well, we drove down off the mountain, and there was a spot on the mountain where you could see on clear days you could see the Trade Center, and we actually saw it burning. I don't know if one of the buildings had collapsed already or not. There may have been just one fire, the other building standing. I don't know. It's one of those memories you'd like to maybe get rid of. Uh, and but we could see it, and so oh my gosh, there. Oh, look at that, and again billows of smoke, uh, and just drifting, smoke drifting, if I recall right, to the south, if I recall right. And we got to our store, opened up, and people might expect us to be open or something. Let's see what happens. We can always and the news on we had a radio down there, and the news was just getting worse and worse. I know one of our friends, a policeman, came in the door, and we said, God, I think you're our only customer. He says, yeah. He says, but listen, he says, you guys may as well, you've been hearing the news, right? I said, well, we just got a radio here. He says, well, it's not good. You guys might want to get home. We have no idea what's going on. And this is we're under some kind of an attack. So he said, I don't think anyone's going to attack Long Valley, New Jersey, but stuff's going on. And all the police are mustered, and fire companies are at the ready. Something's wrong. And of course, from there it escalated. Um, and we more and more information came in, and we knew the country was really in a pickle. Luckily, I think not much more than the morning's attacks seemed to happen after that. But ooh, we eventually we closed the store for the day and went up and just were glued to the TV. I know Sandy was pretty much in tears. I wasn't feeling too good about it either. And you just, I guess the rescue squad in me from back in the day, when I lived in the Carolinas, was getting to me. And I said, I wonder if there's something I can do. And then there wouldn't have been. Everyone was already mustered and out. But it was, and I wasn't necessarily affiliated with any organization at that time. So, but it was, I know we were just glued to the TV and just, Sandy's pretty much, she was very upset. So was I. It was bad. In my wildest dreams, I can't think of being with I can't imagine a bunch of guys getting together and say, hey, I know what let's do. Let's crash airplanes into buildings. It does, somehow it just doesn't seem like the greatest idea on earth, but I guess to them it did. Shame though. I don't know, you think people would think twice. It was it accomplished pretty much nothing but death, and really didn't make the cause of the people that did the crash. It didn't endear us to them, that's for sure. And was quite a bit of hatred going their way, and attacks came afterwards, which made their lives miserable. I don't know. It seemed like there'd be better things to do. I don't know. That was a bad day for planet Earth, I think. Perhaps when I think about it, it was probably the worst I've ever seen. I can't think of much else. I've been to some wild scenes when I did rescue, but nothing like what that trade center was. I felt so bad for the families of rescue workers and firemen who went into that building and then it collapsed on them. God, love it, Doc. And they were firemen and rescue people, just trying to get people safe to safety, and they died for it. Well, it's how they. I guess that's just how I guess it happened, but shame. Anyway, I thought I'd say, God bless them all. Yeah, Lord's Prayer moment, I think. Our Father, I'm sure there was a lot of Lord's Prayers being said. The switchboard, I'm sure, in heaven was full. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory forever. So be it. Okay, friends, that's it. I'll see you later. God bless, and may something like that never happen again. That would be great. See you later. Bye now.